Lunatik Raider. Behind the shield locked in. Yeah. Members only Monday, doors stay closed. Behind the shield, yeah, we in the know. Latest allegiance, code is the code. If you ain't a member, you don't get told. Members only Monday, inside lane. Breaking news first, yeah, we tapped in. Silver and black, we don't play pretend. Real Raider talk, this is members only friends. Members only, I ain't talking public feed. This that locked door convo, Raider Nation VIP. Front office whispers, who stay, who leave. Draft boards, depth charts, yeah, we reading between. Contract talks in the dark, I see the smoke. Who's solid in the building, who close to broke. Coaches on a hot seat, schemes getting tweaked. Film room truth, not the Twitterverse leaks. Religion loud, even when it's rumor time. I separate the facts from the clickbait lines. If it touch the shield, I break it down right. Silver and black vision, yeah, I see it clear like night. Members only Monday, doors stay closed. Behind the shield, yeah, we in the know. Raiders allegiance, code is the code. If you ain't a member, you don't get told. Members only Monday, inside lane. Breaking news first, yeah, we tapped in. Silver and black, we don't play pretend. Real Raider talk, this is members only friends. This ain't headlines, it's the fine print. What really going on, I was trendy to hint. Who earned they reps, who sliding down depth, who the coaches trust when it's fourth in the breath. Free agency chest, front office grind, cap space math. Yeah, I break down signs, draft weekend visions. Trades in the air, if it's moving for the Raiders, we already there. No hot takes, this that cold truth talk. Built for the ones that really walk that walk. Loyalty first, yeah, that's how we stand. Members only Monday, Raider fam. Members only Monday, doors stay closed. Behind the shield, yeah, we in the know. Raiders allegiance, code is the code. If you ain't a member, you don't get told. Members only Monday, inside lane. Breaking news first, yeah, we tapped in. Silver and black, we don't play pretend. Real Raider talk, this is members only friends. Members only. Raiders allegiance. Only Kid running. Behind the shield, locked in. Silver and black. Friend. Yeah, Raiders Nation. Members only, you already know what time it is. Lunatik Raider. Behind the shield locked in. Yeah. Members only Monday, doors stay closed. Behind the shield, yeah, we in the know. Raiders allegiance, code is the code. If you ain't a member, you don't get told. Members only Monday, inside lane. Breaking news first, yeah, we tapped in. Silver and black, we don't play pretend. Real Raider talk, this is members only friends. Members only, I ain't talking public feed. This that locked door convo, Raider Nation VIP. Front office whispers, who stay, who leave. Draft boards, depth charts, yeah, we reading between. Contract talks in the dark, I see the smoke. Who's solid in the building, who close to broke. Coaches on a hot seat, schemes getting tweaked. Film room truth, not the Twitterverse leaks. Religion loud, even when it's rumor time. I separate the facts from the clickbait lines. If it touch the shield, I break it down right. Silver and black vision, yeah, I see it clear like night. Members only Monday, doors stay closed. Behind the shield, yeah, we in the know. Raiders allegiance, code is the code. If you ain't a member, you don't get told. Members only Monday, inside lane. Breaking news first, yeah, we tapped in. Silver and black, we don't play pretend. Real Raider talk, this is members only friends. This ain't headlines, it's the fine print. What really going on, I was trendy to hint. Who earned they reps, who sliding down depth, who the coaches trust when it's fourth in the breath. Free agency chest, front office grind, cap space math. Yeah, I break down signs.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
Rise, my nation. Gather around and prepare. Our pride will be restored. Our shadow will fall with wicked damnation. Rise, my nation. Rise! This is your nation. This is our nation. This is the Raider Nation. Can you dig it?
What is the deal, Raider Nation, man? Welcome to another edition of Members Only Monday, where we take care of our own. Yes, indeed, it's for the members of this channel, man. This is my way of saying thank you. Giving you guys privilege of having a show before anybody, before the public sees it. You guys get the real deal Holyfield, and we got a good breakdown of Dante Moore versus Fernando Mendoza, potential #1 overall pick, since we do hold that pick right now. But from what I'm hearing, the worst we can do is second. The worst we can do is second. So one of these two dudes will be in silver and black if it's a quarterback that this franchise seeks, which we deserve and we need. So with that being said, man, hey, welcome. Thank y'all for pulling up, man. Let's get in. Let me get into the world's most dangerous chat. Let's do that shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody out there. I appreciate y'all. SA Big Dog in the building, man. You already know.
From out of town. There you go. There you go.
We got Showcase Rule in the building, man. Following that shit up with that radio
From out of
shit.
town. There you go. There you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We up in here, man. Shout out to everybody pulling up. We got members. My girl Peaches, you already know, holding it down for your boy, man. Thank you. Thank you, babe, for doing the supporting thing. You feel me? Hey, just don't go around telling everybody this is the sound of the man on the train. Yay, yay. Ice Cube did not sing that song. Ice Cube didn't sing that song. I had to let her know because she was singing, this is the sound of the man working on the train. Yay, yay. Like this was West Side Connection, building train tracks across the United States. But hey, we got it, baby. We got to figure it out. So I had to educate my girl and put her one step up above the rest. Let's go, man. Shout out to everybody out there. Who else we got up in the building, man? We're going to wait a minute and let the others see the notification that we are live. My guy, D. Mickey motherfucking Nice is in the building.
My name is D Nice. My name is D Nice.
From out of town. There you go. There you go.
There you go. There you go. We in this motherfucker, man. Hey, we got a good show for y'all today. Like I said, we're going to do a breakdown. She said, don't do me, babe. I'ma do you. Do you in the morning. I'ma do you at night. I'ma do you till you get that damn that chain gang song right. Bars. But hey, we're gonna get into this shit, man. I got a nice little breakdown for y'all, man. Strengths, weaknesses, and the fit for the Raiders. Since we do, at this current moment, have the #1 overall pick. It could fall to 2 if we beat Kansas City. Kansas City punk ass might try to lose on purpose, but guess what? So are we. No, I'm fucking with you. I don't think we're tanking. We're just not good, bruh. I tell people that, and then when you sat the good people you do have, we really looked horrible. So that's just telling you, if you gauge everything, the Raiders aren't trying to tank. You hear players come out and say, "No, I don't know what you talk about tanking. I got a family to feed. I'm playing for my next contract." You know what I mean? How are you going to get 53 men to fall in line with what you're trying to do? Even if you're trying to do some positive shit, like this is how we're going to do it to win. Even in that category, everybody ain't gonna fall. You're gonna have some motherfuckers that be like, he need to go. You know what I mean? Because he's not falling in line with what we all need to be doing. So the negative and the positive, you're not getting all 100% of your players to fall in line. So what makes you think you're going to get all 100% of them to fall in line to lose? Go out there and put out a bad product. So the next team that I'm trying to go to is since if the Raiders don't bring me back, it's gonna be like, oh well, we've seen what happened towards the end. You fell off at the end of the season, but we were tanking. Nope. We don't believe that shit. You just wasn't that good, so we're not gonna give you the $5 million a year you want. We're gonna give you 2.5. They're gonna lowball you. So that never made sense to me to tank on purpose. That was the dumbest shit a motherfucker could have ever came up with. You know what I mean? Now some teams do that. Some teams do that. You can affect the outcome of a game by who you bench, yes, but that's the organization putting themselves in position. It ain't the players ain't agreeing with that shit. Look, Max Crosby didn't agree with being sat out the last 2 games of the season. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Jeremy Chin and Brock Bowers didn't either. But they do have injuries that they had during the season that need to be attended. So what? Do you put them out there and risk them for games that don't matter? You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to even say is a team tanking or not. You really need a concrete evidence of showing this. Now, usually you can get a concrete evidence if a guy tanks because they're trying to make a point spread of the over and under. You know what I mean? Because then there's a bookie involved. There's this motherfucker betting unusual mass amounts of money on a certain thing that happened when you're looking at the eye like, wait a minute, why is this occurring? And just like the NBA got their ass caught. You know what I mean? With motherfuckers point shaving and shit. Shout out to Chauncey Billups. But it is what it is, man. But we're gonna get into this show, man. Shout out to all y'all. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Win for what now? Win for what? Exactly. But the thing is, it's kind of like a catch-22. If I sit down the veterans that like are our stars, you don't want to risk your stars. Like once again, I'm gonna go back. 2016, we had 12 wins. We were already in the playoffs. Del Rio was the head coach. I was at the game. This is why I remember this shit. Derek Carr in there, right? So Derek Carr in the game. We're up by 3 scores. 3 scores. Game was over. But they left Carr in and they drew up a play for Carr to drop back and throw. The only sack who was our left tackle was from Inglewood. God dang it, I'm forgetting his name. I know somebody gonna tell me. Oh, what's his name? See, now I gotta look it up because I'm not gonna go without getting that information. His name is right on the tip of my tongue. Who was the left tackle for the Oakland Raiders in 2016? Donald Penn. Thank you. And here's the freak accident. The only sack Donald Penn gave up that season was the one that broke Derek Carr's leg going into the playoffs. That was the best Raider team we done had in years. In the last decade. We had the offensive line right. Like I said, that was the first sack Donald Penn gave up all year. But why would you draw up a play if you're up 3 scores for Derek Carr to drop back and pass when you should be handing the ball off running to eat the clock to seal the victory? Del Rio did that shit. People forget that. Del Rio wasn't the greatest coach. His decision making wasn't great all the time. We had a good team. We had 2 1,000-yard receivers in Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper. We had a solid run game. The offensive line with Osemele and them. This is what Reggie McKenzie put together. He was putting together a damn good team. But here comes John Gruden to come fuck up everything. But then again, Del Rio made dumb mistakes. I blame him for Derek Carr getting his leg broke. Why you don't drop back and pass when you're up 3 scores and all you got to do is eat the clock and end the game. 12 wins. 12 wins season. And that was the season that Derek Carr was up for MVP. So I understand that you got to protect your players from themselves. Because Carr probably be like, no, let me in there. I'll drop back and pass. No, Derek. You're up 3 scores, bro. We're just going to hand the ball off until the clock hits 0-0-0. And we didn't do that. We should have learned from that shit. And I think we did, because now you got other regimes that understand that like, hey, and I don't know if it was Pete Carroll that told him to sit down. It was somebody above him. But you got to protect your assets. You got to protect your assets. Max Crosby is an asset, either on or off the field. What you mean off the field? I mean off the field because he has an asset. So if he does ever ask the team to be traded, you gotta grant him that. You can't be the evil stepmother to be like, no, you're not going to the ball. You know what I mean? We're not going to send you. You're not going to a team to win. But if he comes and asks for a trade, you okay? We'll take, just like we did Jacoby Myers. There was no love-hate between Jacoby Myers and the Raiders. The Raiders didn't want to extend him. He wanted to move on. They gave him permission, and now look at him. He's on a team like Jacksonville that's going into the playoffs. So it's a win-win. We got 4th and 6th round picks. I didn't even think we was going to get 2 picks. I thought a 4, at the most a 3, but they gave us a 4th and a 6th. I'll take it, especially on a team that's trying to rebuild and send this shit in the right direction. But let's get into the main thing going on right now, man, with us having the number 1 overall pick. Quarterback is a need. A franchise quarterback is a need. You got Mendoza coming out of Indiana, and you also got Dante Moore out of Oregon. We got a good breakdown. Mendoza's 22 years of age. The thing about Dante Moore, he's only 20. He just turned 20 in 2000 or in May. Was playing college football at 17 years old. So, and he's been through use. First, he committed to Oregon, coming out of MLK in Detroit. 5-star recruit. I remember reading on him when I'm a Duck fan, so I'll be saying that shit all the time. Go Ducks. But I do research on the players coming in that they're recruiting that's signing with the Ducks. I remember when Dante Moore originally signed with Oregon, but then he ended up switching and going to UCLA. He was at UCLA with who? Chip Kelly as head coach for 1 year. He started 5 games as a freshman at 17, bruh. 17, he started 5 games. So after that, Chip Kelly goes off to Ohio State, becomes the offensive coordinator. They win a national championship. Dante Moore goes back to Oregon, where he originally committed to, and is the backup for Dylan Gabriel for 1 season. This season, he takes over. Ducks are in the playoffs. They beat James Madison. Now they're off to face Texas Tech New Year's Day, 9 a.m. Pacific. I love the playoffs of the college football, the way it's lined up, because you get to see all the potential stars coming out into the draft. And now we get to see, not only do we get to see Dante Moore, but Fernando Mendoza as well with Indiana. So this is a good, and they possibly can meet up again, because that's what happened with Oregon and Ohio State last year. Ohio State faced Oregon. Oregon won the first game. Second thing, meet up in the playoffs. Ohio State knocked Oregon out, and Ohio State goes on to win the national championship. So the possibility is there to see Moore versus Mendoza in the college football playoffs. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get to that. But I created a video of a breakdown of Moore and Mendoza, their strengths and weaknesses, and then their fit for the Raiders, what can be. I like Mendoza. I like Mendoza's stature. What, 6'5", 230, 233, 35, something like that. Is mobile. Not like he ain't Michael Vick, but he's mobile. He had over 200 yards rushing. And I think he had about six touchdowns on the ground. And then Moore had almost 200 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns on the ground. And they're both in the 70 percentile as far as completion percentage. And I always tell you, any quarterback coming out of college in 70%, I deal with it because their accuracy is there. Their accuracy is there. Both of them in the 70s. It's just like when Bo Nix came out last year. He's the most accurate quarterback coming out in college history. That's just facts. He beat, I forgot who it was that he beat. Who was the quarterback that had the original record? He's in the NFL right now too. But he broke that record. But anybody in the 70s, C.J. Stroud was in the 70s. Hendon Hooker was in the 70s. You know what I mean? So, and then my thing was that anything like in the 50s and low, nah, bro, you want to be at least 60%. I say 65 and higher completion percentage coming out of college, single digit INTs, double digit touchdowns. Of course, both of these quarterbacks have that. The only thing is Dante Moore is 2 years younger, 20 years of age, going up against Mendoza, 22 years of age. So without further ado, man, we're going to get into it. Here's the breakdown of Moore versus Mendoza, and what it means to the Raiders and what kind of fit they will have if they were either selected by the Raiders number 1 overall in the 2026 NFL Draft. Let's go.
Fernando Mendoza, Indiana. Strengths: prototype build plus durability profile. Big framed QB, 6'5", 225 pounds, who can see and throw from the pocket. Efficiency plus decision making. 33 touchdowns to 6 interceptions with a 71.5% completion rate is the kind of NFL-friendly profile teams bet early picks on. Functional mobility, red zone value, adds points with his legs. 240 rush yards, 6 rush touchdowns. Weaknesses: what scouts will press him on pre-draft. Translate questions: how much of the elite efficiency is him versus system-supporting cast opponents? Teams will stress test this with full-game cut-ups and all 22. That's normal for any breakout season. Pressure play. For the Raiders specifically, any rookie QB must prove he can stay efficient when protection breaks down. Vegas has been among the most sacked/pressured situations. Dante Moore, Oregon. Strengths: accurate distributor with efficiency indicators. High completion rate and strong yards per attempt in 2025 suggest he can run a timing-based passing game. Live arm within structure. He can drive the ball when his base is right and the throw is on schedule. Good fit for play action and intermediate concepts. Weaknesses: documented scouting concerns. Downfield juice isn't elite. One scouting report notes he won't have the strongest arm in the class, and that deep throws can lose power. Starter sample size experience curve. That same report flags his starting resume as still developing. Early starts at UCLA, then sitting, with 2025 as his first full season as the guy. Fit for the Raiders, what matters in Vegas. Given the Raiders' recent reality, turnovers at QB and heavy pressure allowed, Vegas needs a rookie who can, 1. Protect the ball, 2. Get it out on time, and 3. Create when the pocket isn't clean. Mendoza checks the ball security plus scoring efficiency box harder, 33 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and his size plus rushing TDs add a little extra margin in the red zone. Moore looks like a strong rhythm passer, but the 2 biggest flags for Vegas are arm strength ceiling on deep shots and the experience curve, because a pressured environment punishes hesitation and late balls. Who's the better 2026 Raiders option? If both were on the board and the Raiders are picking it near the top, I'd lean Fernando Mendoza as the better fit and safer franchise swing. The combination of elite 2025 TD INT profile, high completion rate, added rushing production, and NFL-sized frame is exactly what you want when you're trying to stabilize an offense that's been losing the turnover pressure battle.
And see, I like Mendoza because of his size, his stature. You know what I mean? And when it comes what 3rd and goal, 4th and goal, 4th and inches, what do? You got a quarterback on a quarterback sneak. Not only will he not get a tush push, but he's big and physical enough to be able to drive his legs to get gainage on yards as well. Now, Dante Moore, the knock on him is arm strength. You got to remember, he can't even drink yet. He can't even take a shot of tequila. He can't have a beer after the game. So you got to remember, he's still in his not adolescent, but in his youthful era as far as being only a 20-year-old quarterback, which if he did get selected by the Raiders, his ceiling will be high because of his youth. You can develop him. He has time to develop. Mendoza, to me, is at the most, you can sit him 1 year. But watching Green Bay and how successful they are with the quarterbacks they done had in the last 3 generations of quarterbacks, Brett Favre, Rodgers, and now Love, they sat at least 3 years. They sat at least 3 years behind each quarterback, and they only had 3 quarterbacks since, God, when did Brett Favre get traded from Atlanta to Green Bay? You know what I mean? They that's how long they had 3 quarterbacks in that time span. It's like Pittsburgh and coaches in the time span where they only had 2 coaches, I think, in that same time span. So I look at it like there's difference. You can get Mendoza in, and I like his he's physical. He's a big dude, 6'5", 220, 223. You know what I mean? Can get you yardage on the ground, touchdowns, rushing, as well as passing. But Dante Moore does have more passing yards. Dante Moore is more efficient when it comes to completion percentage. Not by a lot, by a sliver, but he still has more a better completion percentage. And like they say, in a rhythm offense with timing and all, this is his strengths. Now they question his arm strength. I watched Oregon games. I didn't see it when every time he hits Benson downfield and Benson just eats their ass up. Pause. But that's not for me to say and for you to take as gospel. Watch the playoff games in the college football. Let's just watch it. Let's watch Indiana and let's watch Oregon, and we can gauge the two. To be honest, as far as strength of schedule, Oregon done played some hard games. Indiana played some hard games, but not as many as Oregon. You know what I mean? Even though they're in the same conference, the Big Ten. But go back and watch the Oregon versus Indiana game. That's the first matchup. Now, even though Indiana won, you can't contribute that to just Mendoza. You got to contribute that. You got to look at defenses as well. The defenses, it's a team sport. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan said when you compare rings, it's not by the player, it's by the team. And that's facts. You know what I mean? Who had the better team? But hopefully, we'll get a collision course of both Moore and Mendoza facing each other in the playoffs now, the second time around, like Ohio State and Oregon did last year. And now everything's on the line. The only loss Oregon got was Indiana. Indiana's undefeated. Can Oregon give them their only loss and put them out the playoffs? If they do, if Oregon can get back past Texas Tech and in Indiana eventually can face Oregon again, that'll be a wonderful matchup because then we can watch both quarterbacks and grade them in one game. So that's what I'm looking forward to, man. For real, for real. So I like Dante Moore. I'm kind of biased being a Duck fan, but at the same time, I like Mendoza's presence. I like his physicality. A lot of people say he was corny with his post game. I don't see it as corny. I see him as he don't give a fuck what you think about him. He's gonna be him, and that's all you want your kids to be. Be yourself. Don't be like Johnny, Jimmy, Sarah, or Talia. Be you. If you kind of quirky and your humor is not like what everybody else is everybody else is gravitated toward, don't worry about it. Be you. I tell my son the same thing. A lot of parents, what we do wrong is push our kids to try to be us. I push my son to be greater than me. Don't be like dad. Be greater than me. That's the only way we're gonna evolve as our family goes. So if you want to be goofy, if you want to be a nerd, if you want to be a geek, it's okay. It's okay. Stop conforming. And we usually in society, we conform to the negative shit rather than conforming to the positive. My son wants to be a surgeon. He don't want to be an NFL player. He played football, flag and tackle. He's playing basketball right now. He don't want to go to the NBA. He wants to be a surgeon. Son, there's nothing wrong with that. You be the greatest surgeon that ever came through college, that ever went through med school. That's what I tell him. So I look at Mendoza as he's being himself. He don't care what nobody think, and that's what you want. That means he's not sweating it. He don't care if the fans, not of our team, because our team would get down and dirty, ask Gino, but fans of other teams while he's playing the game saying some obscene, crazy shit to try to get him out of his game, he don't give a fuck. I'm having fun. So when I watched him, I'm like, I kind of smile like, he don't give a fuck. Man, to not give a fuck about what people think, boy, you're free as a motherfucker. You're free. You're free to do whatever it is that your heart's content. And I push any individual, any youngster out there watching this, and I know the words may not be suitable for your ears from your parents, but fuck that. Be you. You don't have to be Tupac. You don't have to be the guy on the block that slid on multiple ops. Be the guy to save lives. Be a surgeon. Be a medic. Be a firefighter. Be whatever you want to be that. But be great at it. That's the only thing. Be great. That's why I have a problem with tanking, because you're not being great when you're out there on the field trying to get a number one pick that might not pan out. Or the organization might draft the wrong one, number one overall, Jamar Russell. You know what I mean? So that's just my word of wisdom to the youngsters out there. Be comfortable in the skin you're in. Shout out to Cameo. The skin you're in. Be comfortable. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. So it's okay for you to be quirky and have an oddball type humor, but you're alive. You're breathing. It don't matter. Be you. So Mendoza, I don't mind, but Dante Moore is my guy because he's a duck. You feel me? But with that being said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this show. This will be released at 6 p.m. This evening to the public. But you guys were privy to having it first, man. Shout out to all the members of this channel, man. I thank y'all. Thank y'all for your support. I look forward to what? The 3rd annual home opener pool party coming this year in September, man. Hopefully we get to kick off the season at home week 1. I'm going to make it an event. It's free to come. There'll be food. We're doing raffles. Me and Peaches, we're going to hold it down, man. We had fun this past year and the last year before that, but it's growing. So if you guys want to come, if you're in town that weekend, I don't know what day the home opener will be, but we'll keep our ears to the ground and our eyes wide open. So with that being said, man, there's only one nation. That's the motherfucking Raider Nation. Y'all enjoy y'all Monday. I'll see y'all tomorrow. The Lunatic Raider Show, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on Raiders Allegiance. Man, I thank each and every one of y'all once again for your support. And like I always say about this time, I'm out this. B-I-H. Ha ha. Go Raiders.